go ahead and open up your radiator cap. Make sure that the engine is cool and has been shut down for a while. Never open this when the engine has been running and or hot. Then go ahead and use our hose clamp tool here. Once that's loose, we'll just wiggle that back. Now with your catch can underneath, you want to go ahead and get that hose free. So we're just going to spin it first. And work the hose back just a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and grab the hubcap and give that a tug and pull that right off. We're going to use a 19mm socket and remove the lug nuts. Then we're going to go ahead and grab the wheel and remove that. We're using a shallow 10mm socket and a really long extension. Now we still have coolant draining out. The coolant should be low enough in the engine block so that we don't have much leakage out of the thermostat housing. We want to go ahead and remove these bolts. There's just 2 of them. There's the upper bolt there. And we're going to get the lower bolt. So with the lower radiator hose disconnected from the radiator and the 2 bolts removed up top, we're going to go ahead and remove the hose and the housing with the thermostat all together. So we're about to swap over the radiator hose here. You want to pay attention to the hose. Our particular one says engine top, and you notice there's a white line here on the hose, and it's almost in line with this casting. It is virtually impossible to get to the hose clamp once this is all assembled. So we're going to swap it over, put on a new clamp, and line up this white line with this casting line right here, so we can assemble the hose, the thermostat, and the neck as one as we took it out. We're going to use a plastic trim tool remover. This way here, we actually don't gouge the aluminum and or ruin the hose. You want to go ahead and inspect the hose, make sure it's in good condition. If you were to replace the hose, now is the time to do it. Now we're going to go ahead and install our hose clamp. Install our thermostat and housing. Going to line up the line here with the casting. I'm going to go ahead and tighten up our new hose clamp. I'm going to snug that down. Let's get it installed. You want to make sure before you install the thermostat housing and hose that this surface around here is clean. We're going to go ahead and just wipe it down and check for any debris, and then we'll go ahead and install. Now that we have both of the bolts started, we'll just snug them down by hand. I'm going to go ahead and torque these 2 bolts down to 89 inch-pounds. And I'll go ahead and install our lower radiator hose. And go ahead and install your wheel. And get all lug nuts started by hand. Go ahead and snug down the lug nuts. I'm going to go ahead and torque these down to 103 foot-pounds. Doing this in a crisscross or a star pattern. Find the notch in your hubcap, line it up with your valve stem. I'm going to go ahead and open up our overflow tank cap here. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill the radiator using the manufacturer recommended fluid for this vehicle. Now in the expansion tank or the overflow tank, there is a fill cold line on this here. So you want to go ahead and add coolant to this as well. Put on our cap. Now we have our fluid all set. We're now going to go ahead and start the vehicle and get up to operating temperature. We're going to watch the fluid here. If the engine needs more coolant, we're going to add it through here and not through the hot radiator cap. Add accordingly, and then you'll be all set.